Hello there, and Merry Christmas to everyone. It's one of my favorite times of the year since we have a whole month dedicated to my favorite holiday, Christmas. I love Christmas. Everything from the lore, the real world history of the holiday, setting up decorations, to the time I get to spend with my family. And arguably the most important part of Christmas is the music. As soon as it hits midnight on November 1st, every single radio station, mall, and commercial dumps us with Christmas music. And even though I'm of the firm belief that you should only start celebrating Christmas after Thanksgiving, I can't say I'm not tempted to sing along whenever the music does play. For some reason, there's so many bangers when it comes to Christmas music. Like, artists just decide to give it their all for the holiday season. At least, they did. See, the more I think about Christmas music, the more I realize a lot of these songs are really old. Like, most of the songs they play were made before 1950, and after that, the good stuff came out really only before 2005. With all the problems going on in the world, this is clearly the biggest one. Like, I've listened to a lot of new Christmas stuff, and it's not great. And I think it's because a lot of these new songs don't fundamentally understand how to make a good Christmas song. But in order to talk about how good or bad any one Christmas song is, I have to discuss what exactly makes a Christmas song good. And of course, this is just my opinion. And I'm going to be roasting a lot of artists, so if you do enjoy anything I bring up, that is perfectly okay. Also, my standard for the most part will be music most people know or have at least heard of, because I think that's what makes the difference between a good song and a great song. With all that out of the way, let's jump in. So there's two ways to look at Christmas. There's the traditional religious meaning behind it, which is to celebrate the birth of Jesus. Any song that uses this theme is by default a Christmas song. And at that point, it's up to the artist to come up with something catchy. Silent Night tells the story and vibes of the night Jesus was born. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen talks about how Christ's birth marks the beginning of humanity's salvation through him. Mary Did You Know is sort of a precursor as it ties into Mary's thoughts before giving birth to Jesus. And We Three Kings is about the kings who visited Jesus and praised him. As long as the theme is there and the song is catchy, it's a good Christmas song. But most of these were made in the medieval era. I'd like to see a rock song about Herod killing all the younglings trying to kill baby Jesus. I think that would be an interesting take on the story. When it comes to what Christmas means in the secular sense, I think there are two big themes. One, the seasons are changing and it's time to be inside while the cold sets in. This could either mean staying inside and giving a cozy feeling, or it can mean a feeling of loneliness or anticipation for spring. Songs like Baby It's Cold Outside and Winter Wonderland convey these themes and emotions. Second, Christmas is a time to reconnect with family and the people around you. This involves gathering with friends and loved ones or reflecting on a broken relationship. Holly Jolly Christmas and Last Christmas touch on these themes. I think there's also a certain way Christmas music generally sounds, but I'm not a musician, so I won't go into that. And frankly, I don't necessarily think the style of music really matters too much. And I think now we can start to pinpoint why a lot of modern holiday music kind of falls flat. Because instead of focusing on the themes that make Christmas important, a lot of artists just make regular pop music disguised as Christmas songs. There will be a lot of Christmas references injected to make it a quote-unquote Christmas song, but the song is still fundamentally a normal pop song. I think a lot of artists and studios make Christmas songs just because they know they'll sell, but they get lost in the endless sea of playlists that are supposed to sound catchy, but end up sounding bland and unoriginal. Now that I've explained what makes a good Christmas song, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of modern Christmas music. Jingle bell, jingle bell. The first good song I want to talk about is Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson. It was released in 2013 on her album Wrapped in Red. Even though this lies under traditional pop music, it's catchy and the themes fit the holiday season. She talks about the joy the season generally brings, which for many people includes presents. But for her, Christmas felt incomplete without her partner, and they fit the role as her Christmas present. It isn't the deepest holiday message, but the catchiness and the mix of emotions make the lyrics really come to life. Next is I'll Be Home by Meghan Trainor. It was released in her extended play of the same name in 2014. Here, Megan seems lost somewhere and Santa is guiding her back home. This song evokes emotions of love and finding one's way, which are core themes of Christmas. The music itself is also really good. It's sort of melancholic and nostalgic at first, but then it crescendos at the end, giving a feeling of hope. What I like about this song is that the person Megan is referring to doesn't have to be romantic. I'll be home with my love can really refer to any person you're close with. The theme also reminds me of the Hawkeye show, which was one of the only good Disney Plus Marvel shows, so it has that going for it. Next is SpongeBob? Yeah, surprisingly, SpongeBob was able to understand Christmas better than a lot of new songs have. I'm referring to The Very First Christmas, which was in the episode Christmas Who. The episode was released in 2000, but I'm still considering it modern. This song really has everything going for it. SpongeBob and Patrick sing about their excitement for the season and everything that goes with it, from the scenery, people's attitude, and the smells. You also have great comedy, as you have Squidward being a total Scrooge. Oh, and you have SpongeBob doing this. Finally, the music itself slaps. Like, I seriously don't understand how a song from SpongeBob hits harder than a lot of new Christmas stuff. Lastly, I want to discuss the Polar Express. Look, I know the animation looks kind of weird, but man, is the story good. It encapsulates everything about Christmas, and that includes the music. Every song slaps in this movie, from the main Polar Express song to Hot Chocolate to When Christmas Comes to Town, and Believe is such a banger. Listening to these songs makes me feel like a kid again. And it's not like all of them are the same kind of song either. Polar Express and Hot Chocolate are more upbeat and fun. When Christmas Comes to Town and Believe are slow, but the music and the lyrics evoke feelings of family and faith. These songs sound like they came from the pre-1950s era, but the movie was released in 2004. Artists, please watch this movie before you make a new Christmas song. This is the golden standard of modern Christmas music. You all knew I was going to talk about this song. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to place All I Want for Christmas because it isn't inherently a bad Christmas song. Much like Kelly Clarkson's Christmas Carol, this song is about not caring for the material things of Christmas and just wanting to be with a person. There's a lot of festive imagery brought up that really paints the story, and the jingle bells help add that Christmas feel. And let's keep it a $1.50. The song is catchy, let's be real about that. But the reason All I Want for Christmas isn't in the good is more because of its impact. I think all the problems with modern Christmas music started with this song, because it's a popular, catchy pop song that still embodies the main themes and sounds of Christmas. This song was released in 1994, and every artist since then has tried to be the next Mariah Carey. But in doing so, they've given up creating art and conveying emotion for just trying to be the next big hit. And that goes for most pop music in general. A lot of it's just random romantic encounters with a bland tune attempting to be catchy. And it's even more egregious with Christmas themed songs because the songs are more about romance than Christmas. Sure, Christmas imagery is brought up, but it doesn't really add anything to the song. It's like how Iron Man 3 takes place during Christmas time, but it's by no means a Christmas movie. Also, All I Want for Christmas is way too overplayed, so it immediately gets thrown out of the good category. Santa, tell me if you're really there. So a lot of new artists have kind of just remade a lot of classical songs, and because of that, they have to be on the bad list. This is going to make a lot of you mad since a lot of these versions are good, but a remake isn't original, so it doesn't really require as much to make it. And yes, this includes Michael Bublé. It sucks that I have to put him in the bad list since his Christmas songs are bangers and usually better than the original. But he hasn't made any new holiday songs as far as I know anyways, so I can't call these versions great modern Christmas songs when they're essentially just better copies. Much like how some might argue The Force Awakens is better than A New Hope, I can't say Episode 7 is inherently a great movie because for the most part it's just a copy of Episode 4. Pentatonix also fits into this category. Man, their Christmas stuff is also really good. It revitalizes old Christmas songs and adds new feelings to them. But for the most part, it's just copies of older music too, so I can't in good faith say they're new either. However, their song That's Christmas to Me is an original that fits the themes of Christmas, and that one passes the vibe check. So That's Christmas to Me gets promoted to the good list. I'll finish this section off with two pop songs. Snowman by Sia was also a bit hard to place, but I ended up putting it in the bad. The song has the themes and imagery of Christmas, but I don't know, the song just doesn't hit like other Christmas music. I think parts of the song are good for commercials, but overall it's just a bit monotone. Like, I wouldn't listen to this song all the way through by choice. I think it's more of the fact that the music itself is missing something rather than Sia misunderstanding the themes. The opposite is true for Ariana Grande's Santa Tell Me. The song is catchy, and on a normal occasion, I'd probably listen to it on my own. But it doesn't really fit the themes of Christmas. It's basically just another song about a romantic situation set during Christmas. It gets points for delving into her fears of being in a fling rather than kind of just being a generic romance song. But for the most part, it doesn't really dive too deeply into what Christmas is or what it means to her. Future Alex here. One of my friends recommended I talk about Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. It isn't what I consider modern, which for the purposes of this video means anything after the year 2000. But I think it'd be worthwhile to briefly discuss this song. I didn't realize this song was so controversial, but my friend said the song is monotone and it pretty much just repeats the same lyric and music over and over again. I took another listen to it and yeah, he's right. There is no change in the music at all throughout this song. There's a couple articles that go deeper into the musical perspective of why this song falls flat, which I highly recommend you check out after watching this video. And while I personally find some enjoyment from the song, it'd be wrong of me to put Snowman by Sia in the bad list and put this song in the good. That just goes to show that having the correct themes doesn't automatically make it a good Christmas song. Oh boy, this is gonna be a rough one. Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. This song just doesn't hit any bars. It isn't catchy, it doesn't sound like traditional Christmas songs, and again, it's just a romance song with Christmas undertones. Like, there are no themes related to the holiday season here other than the mistletoe tradition, which, by the way, is something I've never even seen anyone do. I won't go much more into mistletoe because it's just another mid-2000s Justin Bieber song. Cozy Little Christmas by Katy Perry and Holidays by Meghan Trainor follow similar vibes. They sound like they're supposed to be catchy, but again, they don't evoke the feelings or themes of Christmas. I think Holidays does a little better thematically than Cozy Little Christmas, but it just doesn't catch my attention or really anyone else's. And Cozy Little Christmas barely even includes anything related to the holiday after the first stanza. It's just another romantic encounter that could take place in any time of year. Another one is Oh Santa by Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, and Jennifer Hudson. This is just bad. I didn't realize Mariah Carey was also on this wave of making the next big Christmas song. Where do I even begin? This song tries so hard to be catchy, but it just comes off as annoying. Like, it kind of sounds like a Christmas version of Hey Mickey. And again, it's a pop romance song disguised as a Christmas song. I know the point is that the romantic person of interest is the present, but that theme has been so overdone. Can we not come up with any other theme? See, I think this is why I get so frustrated, because all these Christmas songs are about how there's a romantic partner that is the singer's present that year. We get it. It's not about the gifts. It's about the relationships we made along the way. Isn't that original? Lastly, I'll talk about Sabrina Carpenter's new Christmas album Fruitcake, which really was what sparked me to make this video. I don't want to be too harsh since the album literally just released, but I think these songs perfectly display the problems with modern Christmas music. According to my mom, who is an expert on Christmas music, these songs don't give off the vibe of holiday cheer. A Nonsense Christmas is just a remake of her original song Nonsense, and White Xmas is also a remake, so those are no good. Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do is fine, I guess. But like Ariana Grande's Santa Tell Me, it has a good rhythm, but thematically, it just doesn't feel like Christmas. Cindy Lou Who is actually a good song in its own, but it barely mentions Christmas. And Buy Me Presents is the most egregious one here. Like, thematically, the song has nothing to do with the holiday, and the lyrics are just weird. If you were a wise man, baby, you would drop every other ho 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 and put me on top. Or, he's a little bit older, got a bit of a dad bod from a city that's colder, but damn it, he's so hot. It just makes her sound pretentious, and how she uses Christmas imagery is pretty cringe. Come on, Sabrina, you're better than this. I think the one that actually has a chance of being a classic would be Is It New Year's Yet? The song is really catchy and it actually touches on Christmas themes. Because while Christmas is usually a time of good cheer, it can also be lonely for people who don't have anyone to celebrate it with. And I can see a lot of people wanting to skip the entire month because of that. I guess only time will tell if this song becomes a classic, but to be honest, I don't think many people outside of Sabrina's fanbase will enjoy the song, let alone hear it.
That's the Jingle Bell Rock!
As I mentioned earlier, All I Want for Christmas revolutionized holiday music, and now every artist in studio is trying to live up to that name rather than making a piece of art. I think Kelly Clarkson's Underneath the Tree was the only one that truly did that, but I'm sick and tired of all these songs using Christmas as an allegory for romantic situations. That trope has run its course. I mean, a lot of these songs aren't bad as music, but compared to other Christmas songs, they really fall flat. To be fair, most of the good Christmas music has had decades, if not centuries, to become classics. So I can understand how it'd be hard to compete with that. But it doesn't take that long for a lot of songs to become instant hits. Gangnam Style got 1 billion views the year it was released, and Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo was a hit practically upon release. As long as there's heart and emotion into making a song, rather than just trying to sell records, it should be good. Hopefully there's an artist out there who has the creative juices to give us that next great Christmas song. Thanks for listening to my rant. Let me know what your thoughts are on all this. If you believe I put a song in the wrong category, comment below and I might revise my decision. Merry Christmas everyone, and may the Force be with you.